I'm going to tell you right now, guys, if anyone can explain what the hell is going on in this book, I'm all ears because I'm going to have to tell you right now, and I'm going to tell you what I might think this book is about. But if anyone could possibly chime in that's read this book, that understands what the hell it's about, I'm all ears. I'm all eyes. I'm all ears. Help me out, YouTube community. Um, Anyways, this is the officially unofficial geek. Um, my name is Carrie Quinn. This is Collected Edition Tuesdays. We took last week off because, and I'm still getting over it. um, I made the horrible mistake of shopping in public. I'm going to blame that because I don't work in an office. I work remotely from home with my day job. I spent a lot of time in this particular room here, not doing anything out in public. And I went into public, and that may be my downfall. That may have been my downfall. I went in public to grocery shop, which typically is not like me, and it has not really been that much like me in a long time. Every once in a while, I'll go shopping in public, and it's if I want to get something that's not um, available on Instacart. Other than that, I'm mostly an Instacart gal, and I went out to a grocery store because this is probably like the day before Labor Day. Um, and I started feeling, when I say it was probably me going out to the stores, like I don't go a lot of places that are crowded. This place in particular is a very crowded supermarket landscape type of situation. And I'm going to, while I cannot be for sure, this this location in particular caused me to have a cold that I'm still getting over. But I'm going to blame it. I'm not going to go ahead and name the store. Those of you close to me know exactly what store I'm blaming, that have talked to me about, that have seen me or talked to me while I am sick. Um, you know who I blame, and I'm going to say one thing about the place I went. It's the only place that I saw, because, all right, so a little extra glimpse into my life before I get into talking about bodies and a few other things. I have been going through this whole circumstance of really tremendously cutting back on my sugar intake. Okay. And I am also a major pumpkin spice aficionado. Let's call it that. Yeah, I'm a pumpkin spice fanatic. Yeah, and when the beginning of February, or not February, excuse me, when the beginning of September hits, it's on. It's just on. And even somewhat before that, because shout out to the Dunks, to Dunkin' Donuts for putting their pumpkin spice latte and fall like a good portion, not everything. They held a little bit back on their fall menu, but most of it right up front and center. That made its debut in August, and I have had at least a couple from Dunkin'. I am a fan of the pumpkin spice, and one of the things that is a major sugar intake culprit for me is coffee creamer. Anything involving flavoring my coffee at all um, is a major item. Like to cut out like a good portion of my daily, regular, planned daily sugar intake. So I have been since the I started seeing things in stores. I had been looking for a sugar-free pumpkin spice creamer to no avail. Like it's nowhere. Like you can start finding like in some of these stores that I was looking, you would be able to find like regular pumpkin spice creamer, but it would be the full leaded sugar version. Um, in this particular store, they had the pumpkin spice creamer, zero sugar, the zero sugar pumpkin spice creamer, the international. I think it's International Foods, International Delights, not International Foods, 'cause that's different. But International Delights pumpkin spice creamer, zero sugar. So I got it. Um, I'm enjoying it, and so it's it's a win some, you lose some. I'm going to say that right now, unless this turns into some mutated um, thing, that I'm making my way out of this, knock on wood. This is a piece of wood right here, knock on wood. The mid molding here, that's actual wood, so we're going to knock on it. I'm on my way out of this situation. Um, it got like really like that first couple days really stunk. Okay, really sucked. I had some really bad sinus shit going on, and that's why I'm like wondering if it's going to be, at the risk of giving you too much of an extra special glimpse into my life. I'm right now monitoring the situation to make sure it doesn't turn into a bacterial sinusitis, sinus infection kind of situation. And right now, considering where we were at this time last week, I'm I'm going to be about 50-50 optimistic on this one that we're gonna make it through. And yeah. So anyways, I took a little bit more time with reading bodies than I had originally planned on. You see, originally I would have done this talk about this book last week, but I took last week off because, well, you know what? I felt sucky. I'm not a machine, y'all, okay? Let's be real here. I'm not a machine, all right? And it made me think like a little bit about how maybe I try because of I know thyself. I try to be a little bit more like easygoing about how I do things. And it made me think like maybe the idea of calling it Collected Edition Tuesday was somewhat more limiting that was somewhat more limiting. Go with that. That I wanted it to be. And but no, I'm going to go ahead and just be like, when I say Collected Edition Tuesdays, guys, you need to know that that Tuesday is a Tuesday suggestion in the future. Okay? Cuz it was my love for you that brought me here tonight and not tomorrow, right? Tuesday is more of a suggestion. And there are certain things that I've got coming up that I've talked about on the channel that when I say Tuesday, we're going to stick to it. My upcoming Crow readathon, where I'm going to be reading different from week to week, different versions of The Crow. We're gonna try really hard to stick to that Tuesday thing. There might be a day coming up where the end of the month where we might be taking a little break there, because I might be doing something. But I kind of want to be here for you guys because the 1st of October, which is a Wednesday, is my birthday. But I'll let y'all know, okay? But let's go ahead and kind of talk about Bodies for a moment. Bodies is a DC Black Label joint here. My goodness. It was a Black Label series for DC Comics in 2014, 2015. And it's listed as a crime mystery type of story. Our creative team on this is Cy Spencer, Dean Ormston, Phil Winslade, Meghan, Hetrick, and Tula Lotay. Tula Lotay is an artist, and I really enjoy their work. In fact, the artistry on this piece, especially tail to tail, is really interesting in the way it changes, and I very much like the art in this, especially when you can tell it's clearly Tula Lotay doing the art, and especially in the time period, because this is a story that bounces between 4 time periods, 4 eras. And so let me go ahead and just kind of quickly give you guys the synopsis. And when I give you the synopsis, we pretty much have covered what I am sure I understand about the piece. Okay? An era jumping murder mystery set in London. Apparently, it is also a Netflix series. I did not know that. I'm going to look that up and see if I can understand it better if I watch the Netflix series. We'll check it out. We'll look into it, and I'll let y'all know. London, 1890, as Jack the Ripper stalks the streets, Inspector Edmund Hillenheads, the city's most diligent detective, applies his skills to an even harder case. The victim is an unidentified male. The killer may have powerful allies, and Edmund's darkest secret may be exposed if he gets too close to the truth. London, 1940. As the Blitz rains bombs down on the city, Inspector Charles Whiteman reigns over his streets. He escaped the Nazis in Poland only to run the very rackets he's supposed to shut down. Whew. But when he discovers a mysterious murder victim, his double life may be destroyed. London, 2014. As racist rioters wreak havoc in the name of their prejudiced patriotism, oh God. um, America circa 2025. Detective Sergeant Sahara Hassan um, leads the fight against them. As a Muslim cop, she's English to the core, but the corpse she's uncovered may reveal something rotten but deep beneath the surface. London 2050, that's in the future, because it's 2025 right now, time of recording. As the mind-scrambling pulse wave plagues the last survivors of a terrifying techno-apocalypse, the amnesiac young woman known only as Maplewood can barely understand the body she's discovered. But this ritual killing is identical to those from decades past, and the link between them all is stronger and stranger than anyone could dream. In Bodies, writer Cy Spencer teams up with Meghan Hetrick, Dean Ormston, Tula Lotay, and Phil Winslade with four incredible artists, one for each era, to slice open the modern murder mystery and uncover the strange secret heart within. Wow. Okay. So, yes, these are four different eras, four different artists taking on these time periods. And they all have a similar body. And that similar body seems to be connected with some kind of cult activity in each time period. However, I'm not exactly sure I understand what's going on here. Now, typically, when you have a story like this, you have a planned amount of time that you're going to tell this story, and you have twists and turns and pockets of information that are found without the entire manuscript. However, by the end of the planned time period to tell the story, it should become more and more clear exactly what happened, even if it is still very weird. Now, I can see that there's an attempt made to make this clear to the reader. But is it clear enough? And I'm going to tell you right now, well, you guys have been here. If this is your first time here, I'm not a dummy. I can understand twists and turns of a story. But I'm going to say that the normal person probably might read this and be like, what the hell just happened? This book is over and I still have no idea what the point was. Part of me thinks that the point is the fact that there's an idea that violence and ultra violence and people killing each other happens throughout time, and it happens for similar reasons throughout time. That history maybe is a circle, and if you think that I'm on the right path, if you've read Bodies before and you think I'm on the right path, please tell me. I would love to know if I'm correct in that idea. And the idea that ultra violence and the reason why people are violent to each other remains very similar, and as similar as the ways that people try to prevent violence as well. Everything's running on a circle. Everything's running on a sphere of reality. Now, if that's the point, well, then I guess I got it. But the fact of the matter is that I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, what the hell happened in this story? It's not clear by the end. And despite the fact that it has some pretty cool retro looking art throughout, and even in the time period that's the future, you have that artwork that's just, got that whole retro feel to it. That's like if you're watching a movie from the 60s or 70s that's set in the far future. Um, Kind of looks like that. And it's kind of cool. So I will say one of the most entertaining things about this was one, trying to figure out what the hell it was saying by the end, only to be disappointed that you weren't sure exactly what it was saying by the end. And two, the art. There we go. Um, and if anything, if anyone can please tell me if you've read this book and tell me if you understand what the heck's going on here, I am going to be forever in your debt. Or maybe I am on the right, maybe I'm on the money here and thinking what it is about. Let me know. I really could use a hand on this one. It's pretty rare that you guys probably find me in this position where I'm like, what the heck just happened? Um, and I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that to give you guys some context as to how lost I am in all of this. But anyways, um, do I recommend this book? No. Um, unless you like things that are like this, and typically I do. I'm not a person that strays away from a David Lynch film. Okay? I'm not. I have watched Twin Peaks. I have liked Twin Peaks. I have. Oh my goodness. No, I mean, guys, seriously, that's another conversation for another time. I watched Twin Peaks when I was a kid. Um, and like the adults in my household were watching Twin Peaks. And so I ended up watching Twin Peaks. So it's really interesting watching Twin Peaks as a child, knowing how it looked to me as a child, and then going back and watching Twin Peaks as an adult. And there's so much more there that you get, and it's different, obviously, for obvious reasons. But, anyways, guys, I am not one to stray away from ideas involving, weird shit. Like I said, I like David Lynch. Anyways, help me out on this one. Help me, help me, help me, help me. Anyways, that's about it for this week. Next week, we will come back with something new and fun to talk about. But until next time, I'm putting out a new poetry book. It's the Rebel Girl Social Hour. This is the copy, my proof copy from Barnes and Noble Press. So it will be available on Barnes and Noble's website. So hopefully I can get it up for pre-order. It's not up for pre-order yet, but if you're a Kindle person, it is definitely up for pre-order on Kindle, and it is up for pre-order on Google Books, the digital ebook on Google Books. So go pre-order it either on Kindle or on Google digital books. Check out my link tree in the channel bio to get information about that as well and find out where to find everything that I'm doing, the Substack, my Instagram, my everything. Okay. It's there if you want to support the channel beyond just watching these videos and liking and sharing and subscribing. Until next time, please take it easy. This is the officially unofficial geek channel. My name is Carrie Quinn. This is Collected Edition Tuesdays. And until next time, I'll be seeing ya. Bye-bye.